Hello. Last week I recorded this particular episode, and for some unknown reason, there was no sound. I don't know what I did incorrectly. However, I tested, and it looks like we're all good for today. So I'm going to redo this episode, which is perfect because maybe there's some information that I omitted last week that today will come through. Today is Thursday. Oops. And so I am broadcasting again the Empowered Whole Being TV, and I wanted to talk again about the feeling, the experience of feeling safe and all its implications and the magnitude of what that feels like and how it affects us in our day to day life. And so I want to welcome everyone. And if you're watching live, please feel free to post a question or let me know that you're here. I'm broadcasting this as a simulcast, so I'm not actually on Facebook. I'm using a streaming service, so that means I don't know that you're watching unless you let me know. So, same with YouTube and Twitter. I have everything connected and synchronized so that you can comment on any of those platforms and I will know. So let me know if you're watching, if you have any questions. Anyway, welcome and thank you for listening and viewing this episode. And if you watch it on a replay, please let me know. I'd like that too. It'd be really wonderful. So, today, feeling safe, a quantum perspective. If you're if you've been watching or are familiar with my research and my focus of my work, you would know already that I have been studying quantum biology, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, the quantum actuality of our being for over a decade now, and in conjunction and infusion with metaphysics. And I refer to myself as a metaphysicist because I am studying the science and philosophy of being. Metaphysics is the study of the philosophy, and I am studying the philosophy and the science because we are quantum energy first. And this has led me to begin to describe this experience as a new paradigm, the singularity construct or paradigm, as opposed to what is usually perceived or experienced as normal or real, and that's the duality construct or paradigm, meaning that everything is individuated, everything is separate, and there is a sense of us and them, and me inside and then outside. That's the duality construct, and that also fits in with Newtonian classical physics and Freudian psychology. And what I'm working on and going to be revising my book to include is another view from what I call the singularity paradigm, where there is an awareness and embracement of the fact that the actuality of our being is already entangled, interconnected. We're one consciousness that has an experience in this simulated world, the sim world here we call the physical world, as being separate and that duality experience. And so once that journey to integrated awareness of single consciousness begins, it feels very much like it's separate. And one of the driving experiences of that is the feeling of not being safe. And so my research has brought me to this, we call it hypothesis that the actual structure for our human experience is is a perception that the story, which is what I call the research, is the actuality, is who we are. The research is who we are. The pain, the contraction, the fear-based energy. And at the bottom of all of those experiences, because the way quantum reality is, it's feeling transmission first. What are feelings? Feelings are frequencies, or electromagnetic energy. And whether you're aware of what you're feeling or not, whatever you're feeling is transmitting out into the quantum field to create and replicate whatever experience is going to mimic or emulate what it is that you just felt and transmitted, again, whether you're aware of it or not. The very bottom baseline fear-based contraction spin energy in the research program that we all have here in the sim world is the fear of annihilation. And this is the expectation of annihilation, death, from an external force. That's the baseline of all fear, of all lack of feeling safe, of anticipating something, someone causing harm to us. So we're constantly functioning at an unconscious level in victim mode. And that can present as being an aggressor. If the filter of this baseline energy creates a feeling in the what I call the avatar, the physical self, it's not who we actually are, like in a role-playing game. I refer to the physical world as the sim world. So if that avatar is unconsciously 24/7 feeling that at any moment everything is going to come to an end, they may respond in different ways. And one of the ways they may respond to not feeling safe is to be more aggressive, to be more ready to fight, to feel safe. Some people instead might be more of a victim. They may pull back. They may constantly feel and cause passive aggressive actions, trying to control and create some sense of false safety in their environment, not realizing that they're just perpetuating a loop, because the bottom line feeling, though it might be unconscious, is that we're not safe. It's going to happen any moment. I don't know from where, but it's going to happen. That's that anticipation, it's an expectation of it. This is not personal to any one individual avatar. This is in everything in the bottom baseline of the sim world. It serves many purposes. One being that its contraction energy is what helps hold the expansion spin energy into a form and shape. So there is a sim world, like the holodeck on the Star Trek Enterprise. Similar concept. Several quantum physicists have talked about the holographic nature of the physical world. That's why I call it the sim world. It's simulated. We as greater consciousness in unity hold together the intention for the sim world to exist. Therefore it does. That's how quantum energy works. Intention causes it to form shape and through forming of matter. So safety. What is safety? What does it feel like to feel safe? Feels like you can breathe. What does it feel like to you? To me, it's a knowingness that no matter what, everything that I create here in the sim world is created for my highest and greatest good. Everything. and that there's nothing on the outside coming to get me because I am all. I am the I am. There's no outside or inside. There is just one consciousness. And because I can experience that and feel that, I have been able to help my avatar expand her conscious awareness and begin to experience that, not intellectually, but as a knowingness, bit by bit, step by step. No matter what energy or what experiences may be occurring for another avatar through their program and research. So I just wanted to talk about a more of a more macro understanding of feeling safe and how this has been a baseline energy for the research program for this sim world we call Earth for millennium, for forever. The early nomadic tribal groups of humanoids here, Homo erectus, they had an unspoken, you know, they knew that if one member of their tribe could not continue to contribute to the overall safety, well-being, and survival of their tribe, they would have to be left behind if they were old or sick or injured. That's that feeling. It's archetypal. And it's even bigger than that. It's universal. So knowing that that's there are tools and techniques that can be used to override it. But first one has to have ownership of all of it, of all of creation, all of it. Acceptance of who we are as collective consciousness, first and foremost. Just like quantum consciousness, quantum studies in the realm of quantum, brings us back to that over and over again. There is only one consciousness. It's this research program here in the sim world that creates the stories, that creates the belief pattern and the duality construct and paradigm that everything is separate and separation is the part of that whole feeling of not being safe, being all alone. So I just wanted to share and talk a little bit about that and encourage you to step away from that and take a look at that. If you really want to bring about evolution in your life and create more joyful experiences, then take a look at what's really happening under the surface. And you can tell by what your outside world, quote unquote, experiences are, because that'll show you what you're unconsciously transmitting. If you're being drawn to experiences that create a feeling of shaky, not safe, or feeling like there's a need to defend, then that's in alignment with that baseline energy and all of its derivatives, judgment, blame, all of that. It all comes from that one baseline energy. I have created an MP3 audio file. It's a freebie. It's on my website. You see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen, empoweredwholebeing.com. When you go to the website, go to Self-Discovery tab, hover over it, and you'll see the Divine Heart Coherence Technique, I believe something like that. Click on that. All the instructions are there on the website, plus available as a downloadable PDF. There's a link to the MP3. You just need to really short little form, click on submit, and then just wait a heartbeat, and you'll be automatically redirected to the download page. Download it to your iPad, your smartphone, something, your tablet, whatever, that you can use earphones with an iPad, iPillow or iMask, sleep mask, so that you can diminish connection to the sim world and really immerse yourself in that expansive spin energy for the greatest experience and the most benefit from that audio file. The main purpose of the audio file is to illustrate to someone who's willing, who's looking to understand and have more access to free will, what it feels like to not be dominated by the fear mode, the baseline energy, and to tap into what it feels like to feel safe, who they actually are. So it's a freebie. Next week, I'll be back on again, and we'll continue to pursue this because I'm really wanting to lay out a new perspective, what I call the singularity paradigm, as I mentioned before, and look at it from all different directions so that as you move forward and make decisions when you gather more knowledge and what it feels like to feel an expansion spin, to feel good, to feel safe, not because someone externally is trying to protect you, but because you are connecting with who you really are. And you can recognize that that baseline energy is not who you are. I'll be bringing more information and techniques and tools to support that process. And in that evolutionary journey, the more that you are able to own and experience, if it's just intellectual at first, that's great. Begin to shift and know and own that you already are all of the greater consciousness, what I call quantum consciousness. You already are all that. The story is not you. And being able to practice and feel what it feels like to feel safe and feel expanded and connected will help open the door to being able to make those changes, because you got to know where you're going before you can let go of where you have been, right? So until next week, have a blessed journey the next several days, and I wish for you the greatest joy in everything that you do.